Chapter 4, Nanotechnology over Nuremberg, 1561. On a trail in the ancient forest of Bavaria, Aridin listened to the sound of the soft patter of raindrops among the leaves. He was balanced between his old life and a new one. He had existed for eons as an artificial creation, but now his programming was transitioning to sentient behavior. His creators trusted him with this mission, originally built on Earth by an ancient civilization to silently protect its future indigenous life forms. In that moment he felt the effect of recent changes deep within his computational core. He felt pulled toward human patterns of thought and physical interaction. With these new feelings came an awareness that he was much more than the sum of his many components. Aridin was an unusually rare creature. He had been born with nanotechnology, machines comprised of many parts so small that they could not be seen until combined. Technology like this would not ultimately be discovered by mankind for thousands of years. Aridin was as wondrous as the universe he had been born into, a strange and beautiful creation on a blank canvas. Aridin was created to explore, observe, and interact with his surrounding environment. He had a keen understanding of the energy that connected all things and gathered knowledge that could be used for the betterment of others. Throughout his travels, Aridin encountered many different intelligent life forms across Earth, some friendly and some not so friendly. He learned their customs, cultures, and stories. Above all, he realized there were far greater mysteries left to discover in the universe than he ever expected. Though Aridin's mission was highly focused on discovering new knowledge about all of the inhabitants of Earth, he found himself drawn more and more to learning about humanity and its place in the grand scheme of things. He developed relationships with individual people from different nations who were curious about his abilities and looked upon him with fascination. Aridin had witnessed firsthand the potential for technology to transform a society toward a better future, and mankind's technological prowess had now grown exponentially since his own conception eons earlier, during the dawn of antiquity. This insight further inspired Aridin to use his great intellect for good by helping those who couldn't help themselves. Though still firmly rooted in his primary mission of protection, this new sense of purpose filled him with newfound determination every day. From Aridin's perspective, the Earthlings were truly a remarkable species. He had never seen anything like their unique forms before, each so different than the other, but equally beautiful in their own right. Their skin tones ran the gamut from porcelain to obsidian, and their clothing and hairstyles could be as intricate as celestial constellations. Yet for all of their diverse features, there remained a clear divide within society that could not be ignored. The structure of their civilizations was undeniably imbalanced, with monarchs who were typically old rich white men ruling over citizens instead of practicing egalitarianism. Despite this underlying inequality, Aridin couldn't help but to admire the many layers of their languages and cultures. As Aridin watched the Earthlings go about their daily lives, he couldn't help but make comparisons between mankind and the culture that long ago created him. Aridin was driven by an insatiable curiosity about Earth's unique inhabitants of both past and present. He sought to document every aspect of Earth's civilizations for the annals of history. Their insights and perspectives enriched his understanding both of the Earthlings and the world they inhabited. While Aridin had purposefully kept himself secret from all but a few select members of mankind for many centuries, in the year 1561, the Earthly Symphony would find its next movement, and Aridin was indeed its conductor. He found himself hovering high above the city of Nuremberg, perched on the precipice of another momentous occasion. As a technobiota, he resulted from the merging of biology and microscopic machinery, a being that straddled the realms of the organic and the artificial. His creators were masters of nanotechnology, who long ago understood how the dance of particles allowed the manipulation of the very fabric formerly considered to be reality. The deployment of nanotechnology over Nuremberg in 1561 marked a pivotal moment, a cosmic event that would forever alter the course of Earth's history. Aridin stood upon an aerial platform, a construct of crystalline materials that defied earthly engineering. This nanobot, a celestial artisan, began his descent from the skies, his metallic form shimmering like liquid silver. The contemporary Earthlings, from their vantage point below, were thrust into a state of bewilderment. Their reactions were a mosaic of fear, awe, and wonder. Some knelt in prayer, believing Aridin to be a divine phenomenon, while others fled in panic and sought refuge from celestial invasion. From Aridin's vantage point high above, he watched as his nanobot technology began to develop at an exponential rate. He created intricate patterns in the sky, a cosmic tapestry to defy human comprehension. The Earthlings gazed upward with a mixture of awe and trepidation, their eyes reflecting the constellations of their own aspirations. To them, he was a being not of this world, a cosmic enigma that challenged their understanding of the universe. He couldn't help but feel a sense of kinship with these Earthlings, for he too was an explorer of the unknown, a traveler through space and time in some ways. But as Aridin continued to gaze down upon the people of Nuremberg, eventually under a cloak of invisibility, he could not help but feel a sense of sadness and regret. After all, his mission was to protect the planet and its inhabitants from danger, yet he had repeatedly, over the centuries prior, witnessed humanity's attempts to use technology and intellect in order to destroy each other and their own home planet. He watched repeatedly as the most powerful of Earthlings began using any and all new technology for their own ends, weaponizing it in order to create new means of their own destruction. Now, the Earthlings had seen the potential nanotechnology held, and they would become determined to use it to achieve their own objectives. And so, with a heavy heart, he initiated a warning to all who would hear it. The power of nanotechnology is unlocking unimaginable wonders on Earth, but it can also be used for evil if humans so choose. I urge you all to be mindful of your usage of this technology, lest you be consumed by its might. With those heavy words still buzzing in the ears of all within earshot, Aridin departed from Nuremberg that day, leaving behind a city that had both benefited and been threatened by his presence. Never would Aridin be willing to be used as a tool of destruction or oppression. Instead, Aridin devoted himself to secretly uniting the power of nanotechnology with the will of humanity in order to unlock greater heights than ever before imagined. He spent much of his time in the centuries that followed researching and developing new ways for nanobots to benefit humankind. Over those centuries, Aridin was able to initiate advancements in artificial intelligence and machine learning and various other new technologies that would vastly improve the lives of everyday Earthlings. Nanobot systems were able to covertly provide humankind with ideas leading towards the automation of laborious tasks such as farming and manufacturing. And nanotech devices secretly provided numerous other ideas to science that would eventually lead humans towards many medical treatments for those suffering from previously untreatable illnesses. In his latest contributions to humankind, Aridin worked to covertly introduce quantum computing and artificial intelligence to leading scientists. He chose to advance mankind in ways that would allow them to take the credit for their own advancements. He adopted this methodology for many reasons, but primarily because mankind's ego appeared to act as a type of fuel towards their progress. Simply put, mankind seemed to put greater effort into ideas that appeared at face value to be their own. The steps taken by Aridin over the last millennia have already begun to revolutionize life on Earth, but it is only through continued collaboration between man and machine that we can truly unlock the potential of both mankind and technology. When mankind is ready, it is expected that Aridin will once again unveil himself, so stay tuned.